let me begin with my top 3 stocks this morning. First up is Acme Solar. It's a thumbs up because it's secured a 250 megawatt. The company secured a 250 megawatt renewable energy project. It's from NHPC at a tariff of 4.56 rupees per unit. The project includes a green shoe option to expand capacity to 500 megawatts as well. The agreement signing is in early FY26, and they will be completing the project by FY27-28. The company's total portfolio is now at almost 7 gigawatts and is committed to a long-term power supply portfolio with NHPC at 930 megawatts. Now, if you're looking for an option or a candidate to really ride the solar energy wave, then Acme could be one that you see. But remember, it's have had a bit of a downer since listing. So is it now poised for a recovery? Thumbs up at least on the news today. Gland Pharma is the other one that we're tracking. It's got the US FDA approval for an injectable emulsion. It's used for treating vitamin K deficiency. And it's a pretty decent size addressable market. So I think Gland Pharma is already had an up move yesterday. Remember, CDMOs and certain categories of Indian pharma companies are on the top list of most people we're talking to, most brokerages for 2025. So that's one to watch out for as well. Meanwhile, Afcons Infrastructure is the other one that caught my eye. So 3 stocks, all 3 thumbs up today. They've been declared as the lowest bidder for a project worth 503 crores. It's a project for water supply under the Jal Jeevan mission. And they formed a joint venture with Hindustan Projects for this. The contract includes operation and maintenance for 10 years. But since Jal Jeevan mission is something that's going to be a long-term capital expenditure bucket for the government, this could definitely be a positive for the stock today and for the company in terms of news flow. Stock has been about 13% up since its listing. So tough to pick those which would see fireworks in a market like this.
I think Nuvama may see some fireworks, but on the negative side this morning. Remember, so actually both Nuvama and Edelweiss are 2 stocks you want to track. Edelweiss Finance, ECAP Equities, which is a stakeholder in Nuvama, will be selling 7% stake via block deals, from what we understand today. The floor price is set at 6,800 rupees, which is a pretty significant discount to yesterday's close as well. So nearly a 7% close to yesterday's closing price. It is going to be a clean out trade from what we understand at 1,734. So if this is a trade that gets well subscribed, which is what we are expecting, while the news flow may not be positive usually, but given the supply-demand phenomena and the story ahead for Nuvama, this would be a thumbs up if it turns out to be a clean-out trade, which we will try and get a sense of over the course of the next 1 hour. The other one to track is Waaree Energies, and these are stocks that move significantly, remember, on order wins. Their subsidiary, which is Waaree Forever Energies, has received an LOA for a pretty large development of 170 megawatt solar power plant in Madhya Pradesh from Reva Ultra Mega Solar. So on back of that order win, you will see Waaree Energies do quite well in today's trade. Vedanta is another one that I'd like to track. The board is going to meet on the 16th of December, and they're considering a 4th interim dividend for the financial year 24-25. So you watch out for that one. And Godavari Power is smaller company, but the news is that the company has entered into an agreement with GAIL for the supply of our LNG gas for its upcoming pellet plant for 7 years. So on back of that agreement with GAIL, Godavari is a positive. Vedanta ahead of the interim dividend is a positive. And Nuvama, because this is going to be a clean out trade, will also be a positive as Edelweiss marks its complete exit from Nuvama. So that's what we have. A quick mention on Bajaj Finance as well. Remember, this was one of the most impressive listings of our times. But the news is that with Bajaj Housing Finance, the stock will be in focus today as the 3-month lock-in period comes to an end today. That also means 12.6 crore shares will be available for trade in today's session, beginning today actually, which is about 2% of the total equity held. So keep an eye on Bajaj Housing Finance, Tamanna. I'd definitely watch Nuvama because this is a great story. And with Edelweiss marking its exit, it will be a clean out trade, so positive on that. And the other ones are on order wins.
Yeah, We should pull up the Bajaj Housing Finance chart actually. I think we've been showing Bajaj Finance because that's what is going to be in focus this morning. Yeah, there you go. Now, the only other one that I want to add before we get to our special focus this morning on FMCG is actually Ceat. And that's because, and you know, we covered this, of course. We spoke to the Ceat management, their acquisition of Camso, a premium off-highway tire brand. I saw the stock already run up a fair bit. There was some profit booking yesterday. But there are notes today out from MK, Nuvama, and Nomura, all three on Ceat. After their conference call, and MK has retained a buy and raised its target price to 4,000 rupees. So that's the one which is the most, I would say, optimistic on it because of the premium focus that has come with this acquisition. They expect that the mix of off-highway tires and exports will rise 25% each versus 15% right now and 19 to 20% right now. The double-digit market share of Camso in US and Europe will aid efforts. Remember, 40 OEMs come on board because of the Camso acquisition as well. Their estimates are unchanged in terms of valuations, though, so that's important. Nuvama, meanwhile, has retained a buy with a target price of 3,640. They've upped it a little bit, so that's upside of about 15%. And Nomura has retained a neutral with a target price of 3,051. So that's a bit of a downside as far as they go. But they do say that the management noted that acquisition is in line with Ceat's stated ambitions of premiumization. They look at margins improving to 20% in a few years as demand picks up. So I'd watch out for Ceat today as well.